Hi, Carmaniacs. Welcome to another episode of Echoes of Carmen in English. Today we'll be having episode 8, which is called Forgive. Before we start, I would like to go on about what happened, why I didn't have an episode last week. So this is what happened. My phone fell in the pool, and everything happened because a skink was asking me for help. It came to me, but that didn't look like a parasite. It's like this rare species of blood lizard. That didn't look like a parasite. It freaked me out. I was like, oh, what is it? And I had just got out my phone, so I threw everything on the pool. Yeah, so I threw it on the pool. I literally threw it on the pool. I was on the pool. And so I threw it on the pool. And I was freaked out because this looked like a little worm, right? So it looks like a worm, but it has little arms and little legs. Like the legs are like a lizard, but the arms are kind of like the things that fish have. So when it moves, it tucks its arm like this, and it looks so freaking weird. It looks disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it. I thought it was a parasite. I was like, ooh, I don't want to go into the pool. Like it's gonna get inside me. Ugh. So I ended up doing it. I did go into the pool, and I was like, well, I was dying. But I took my phone, and sadly, it was a little too late because I'm pretty sure it was like short circuit. That's not how you say it in English, man. I'm mixing words. But basically, the circuit got messed up because it was like overheating, so I couldn't get turned on, and the circuit got messed up. It got wet, so it was getting burnt basically from the inside out. So I was for a whole week without a phone. It was a very interesting week because um, today is my past. It was my first week without. No, yeah, it was 2 weeks away from actually from turning 30. So it was very melancholic in a way because I was thinking too much and I was meditating about what my 20s have been, all the things that I wanted to be, all the things that I'm not, all the things that I am, the turns that life has taken, and how different my life looked from what I thought it was gonna be. And just like, but I'm grateful for it all. I love my life and I love absolutely everything that's happened to me because it's made me the person I am now, and I wouldn't have changed my 20s for nothing in the world. Um, Even though they have been nothing of what I expected, uh, it makes me really happy because I feel that they were very teachable moments in my 20s that gave me so much wisdom and gave me so much happiness too. But yeah, that's what happened with my phone. I'm now with an Android. I was with an iPhone. So I'm now with an Android. I'm trying to figure it out how it works because I haven't had an Android maybe in like 10 years. And I was going to make a video on my computer, but honestly, my computer is kind of like a cheap one. So it doesn't look, the quality was horrible. So I was like, nope, I'd rather not post anything at all. And since I couldn't use my phone, I couldn't have any of my accounts either because all of them require to have a code sent to my to my phone, to my text message. So it was just, it couldn't happen. So for a whole week, I had like a whole detox of just me and my thoughts and home and maybe some Criminal Minds, some Good Doctor, all the good shows. It was nice though. Either way, it was nice. And I'm thinking, yeah, so here we are again. Another episode, another week of Echoes of Carmen. Ah, yeah, because I said Carmaniacs, right? So when we went camping, one of the dudes that went with us, he was like, "Oh, you have a podcast, Carmaniacs?" And for a minute, I was like, I was not chipping it because I was like, well, I don't want the podcast to be too much about me, and it already has like Echoes of Carmen, so I'm like, I don't know, I feel like it was too much, no? Like a little crunch, like a little too much, like of my name, which is not what I wanted. But it's been stuck in me since then. It's been a month already and it's still like there. So I was like, you know what? If I'm still thinking about it, I must try it. I must give it I should give it an opportunity. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it today and I'm gonna see how it goes. So far I kinda like it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Comment, subscribe, and like. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments about the Carmaniac thing. If not, I'll probably change it maybe. Uh but I think it's funny. You're maniacs. Anyways, sorry. I just had some hot chocolate, so the sugar is kicking in. Um. Anyways. Oh man. Yeah, that's what happened. All this week. I'm excited to turn 30 next week. Ooh. And yeah, I had no phone. I'm trying to recapitulate what I was gonna tell you and you guys. But yeah, that was it. No phone. No phone. It was like a little prison, I'm not gonna lie. But it was nice having a little detox. I think sometimes we are too addicted to our phones and it shouldn't be that way. We should try to be more present with the people that we have with us, Like show the love that we can when we can. Spend the time spend the time present, like being present, actual present and having a conversation with the people that you have next to you. Those are the important things in life and at the end of the day is all we have. The people that are next to us every day. But yeah, I'm not sure if I can post in the comments pictures in here, but if I don't, I'm gonna try to put a picture of the rare species of laser that got me to drop my phone basically. Oh, it was disgusting. But yeah, I'll if not, I'll put it on the Instagram. I'm sure on Instagram I will be able to show it what it was, or I'll make a short about it. But yeah, thank you for being here another week. I hope you guys are having a beautiful week. And that's basically the little recap that I had for all of you. Let's just get started on the subject of today. So, episodes of Carmen. I mean, episode number 8, Echoes of Carmen. It's called Forgive. So important that we forgive because it sets you free. It sets the other person free, the person that you are like holding the resentment towards or the hate towards. It sets you free and importantly, so important to forgive all the time. I was saying on the Spanish one that I think there is a research that shows what happens when you forgive. I cannot recall it, but I know I've read it. And I mean, also like forgiving is letting go. So that will make sense. Because, yeah, I think, I don't remember the research, but there was one that shows what it does to your genealogy. Like your DNA. Sorry, I was thinking in Spanish, so I was like, ADN? No, your DNA, something inside it chips once you forgive and once you let go. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. I love it. Anyways, forgive. If you can't, ask God to let you forgive others because it's so necessary to set the two people free. You, yourself, and the person that you are holding something against. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's so helpful. Your life will change once you start forgiving. I was having a conversation with one of my friends recently, and I was telling her that I was having like an intrusive thought, right? And I was like, but it's good because I mean, I don't really feel like that. It was just like a thought. And she told me, forgive that thought. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I was like, yeah, I forgive that thought because like it was kind of something deep, but at the same time, it wasn't too heavy, right? So I was like, yeah, like, don't worry about it. But then she was like, yeah, forgive that thought. And I was like, whoa, that makes so much sense because if I'm thinking about it, it's coming from somewhere. And if it's coming from me, I want to be able to forgive that part of me, so it can grow, so it can um, evolutionate. No. Man, I'm thinking in Spanish. My bad, guys. But yeah, so it can grow, so it can change, like how the matter doesn't start or end, it just transforms. So basically, for that to transform, to transform into love, to transform into compassion, or whatever it was that it was the thing that I was thinking about. So I thought it was very good, very helpful, and I loved it because sometimes we think we know it all, but we always need more people to be telling us the stuff that we can't see. Because sometimes I'm not gonna see what I'm looking, but others do. So it's so helpful, so helpful. Anyways, um, with today's episode, the stories are a little short, the two last ones, but the other ones are definitely the other one is definitely longer. So I will start today. All of them are anonymous. The first one is called "What Goes Around Comes Around," and I know we have heard this phrase for so long, and it's something that people just keep on talking all the time. But you want to know where it comes from? It comes from the Bible, and it's we reap what we sow. I remember the first time I ever heard it, I was like, what? Because I think I heard it in Spanish, but it didn't make any sense to me. But then when I heard it in English, I was like, oh, it did like, it did like a little click on my head. I was like, ooh. Anyways, yeah. What comes around goes around. This girl starts saying that, well, first of all, to not go away from God, to not run away from God. She in the story keeps on saying how bad, like how badly she encourages for us to not run away from God because we need it, because He's good, and because He's always protecting us, even if we're not good parents. I mean, even if we're not good kids, right? Or like good sons and daughters. She was saying that after separating her partner at the time, um, she started having like a little unstable phase, right? Where like some people from her past came and she was like, well, if I can and they can, then why can't I try to make it work, right? And like this, it was a group of friends, and between that group of friends, it was this lover that didn't work out before, and of course didn't work out now, or like back then. But even then, she was like, well, we can try again. Sadly, she didn't know that person was lying about being single. So, to her surprise, he was not single. So he was all the time with the person that he was with before her, and the person that he was with ended up hitting this person that Sally was like living in sin. But this person, right? So ends up hating this girl, ends up hating this lady or girl, ends up hating this girl, and she says that during that process it was like very hard for her because she got hurt from, of course, like her past partner and then now this person. And by that time she was having like really good, well, she was having a lot of problems and she was trying to like, make everything work the whatever way she could. By the end, she ended up dating this person, a guy that she dated. So she ended up dating this other person, right? That he was from Mexico, and this guy starts saying that Uh, so years have passed, right? After this whole like unstable phase that she went through. So years passed by, and she realized that she was getting sicker by the time that she was burping, and when she wasn't burping, like gases were coming from behind, and they were nasty. They were smelly. It was like smelling putrefied stuff, and that it was just really bad, you know. And she started getting her body started changing. Her legs were getting skinnier. Her torso was getting bigger. She says that she was always like a thick girl, but nothing to the point where her body was transforming at the time, right? So she was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what is this." And the boyfriend that she had then was like, "It's because of the people that you were involved with. They probably did something to you. You don't even know. That's why you need to be so careful about the people that you let in your life." Like, it was like, and if it's not them, I'm pretty sure it's your family. Your family is so bad. So I love that happened. And then this girl says that by the time she was traveling a lot to Michoacan, which was like around COVID time, and she was traveling a lot to Michoacan. And one of the times that she went, they were at a cemetery. They were at a cemetery, and she remembers that in the cemetery, once the person was put to rest, um, everybody was going towards their cars, and when she was walking towards the car, there was this lady that was like very very skinny, like very the old lady, like the literally the basic old lady from the little towns that was portrayed in like movies and stuff. And she comes and she's like, "Oh, my little girl, I can't believe they do that to you. You need to go do yourself a cleanse. They did something to you." And then this girl was like, "Okay." And she was like a little bit freaked out about it, but she was trying to not to think too much about it, right? And during all this time, she was like running away from God. Is still like, yeah, I don't want to have nothing to do with God. Like, it's gonna be on my terms or no, or nothing, basically. And so, she goes to the car. She tells the family of her boyfriend and her boyfriend, like, "Hey, like, dude, what's up with this? Like, this lady just came and like told me this." And then she says that was the boyfriend and the family were like, "Oh, this is just a lady of the town. She's known to say like things that make sense and don't make sense. Don't worry about it." She was like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry." Things started getting worse. She was struggling financially, even though she was having a lot of job. So she could not, like, money was coming and going, and it was going faster than it was coming. So she was like, "This doesn't make any sense." And she was having like a really bad phase, and everything, like on like medically, on health, on finances, a lot of things, a lot of things. So another time that they went to Michoacan again, this girl says that they were she was wearing these shoes that she knew were comfortable and that matched with babes basically everything, and they were not heavy, they were comfortable, they didn't took space from her luggage. So she was like, "Yep, I'm taking these ones, and these are my babies." She's a aficionado for shoes, so she knows her shoes were right. That's what she says. And so she travels from Tijuana to Michoacan, and she says that like she started getting like a little bit uncomfortable, like a little um like a itchy feeling on her feet the whole time that she was like traveling. But she was like, "Oh, this is weird. Like, it's fine. Like, I know these shoes are fine, so must be me." So she just kept on going. She's like, it'll probably be okay once I land, no? So that happens, and she finally lands, and they were supposed to go somewhere else, but she was like, "You know what? Let me just wash my shoe real quick because I'm feeling very uncomfortable." I don't know. I just have this feeling that I have to watch my shoe because I don't know. Something's making me really uncomfortable. I don't know quite what it is because I know these shoes are comfortable. So I think it's just me. But I feel like I really, really need to watch these shoes. And so the mom of the boyfriend was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, yeah. Let me give you some vinegar too, like on top of the soap, so you can wash them even better." She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, thank you." She says that as soon as she took this her shoe off, ugh, I can't even think about it. I can't even think about it. So she says that when she takes her shoes off, this larva that was like so thick, like big, and it was yellow, yellow, almost gold. Um, they were not ending. They were coming and coming and coming. She was like, "From where are they even coming?" And it was on her right feet, right? Which she had already had some stuff happening to her feet before, a couple of cuts. And so she was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" She freaked out. She called everybody. She was like, "Oh, what is this? I need help." And then they were like, "All right, you know what? This is it. You need to go do a cleanse." And she, even though she was trying to run away from God, she was also a Christian that was running away from God. But she was like, "No, I don't like to do this. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm Christian." So they were like, "Okay, look, there is this lady that she's Catholic and she does everything in the name of God." I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that, but gotta give the benefit of the doubt. And so that she does these things in the name of God, and she's a really involved Catholic person. She's really known for the stuff that she does, and la 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 la. She was like, "All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go because this has to have a fix, one way or another." No. So she says they managed to get an appointment with the lady before their time in Michoacan ended. And of course, her boyfriend was going to have an appointment with it as well. It was going to be first time and then her. So they have the appointment, they go, they present themselves to the place. And by the time they get to the place, the lady comes out. They were waiting there for a little bit, and then the lady comes out to call the next person, right? And then when the lady comes out and she sees this girl, she's like, "No, no." And then she was like, "What?" And then the girl says that she called her assistant and was like, "Nirvana, please cancel all the appointments today. She's gonna take all my day. I can't see anybody else after her." And Nirvana was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay." She she told everybody that thank you and I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Blah blah blah. Everybody understood because they know how these things go. So everybody that was there, at least. So that happened, and she was like, the lady was, "Oh no, like you're too heavy. Like this is something heavy." And so the girl was just like, "Okay." She did not say nothing at all, and she says that if she said anything, it was barely like an okay, and that she never gave any details of her life, nothing, nothing, right? So she says that like she passed a little egg thing. I don't really know how these things work, but she says like while she's cleansing her, that she's like, "Okay, repeat this after me," and there was like a couple prayers, and then she passed the egg, and that like there, and she says that like after she passed the egg, she was like trying to show her like that it was really hard to break the egg to begin with, and then after that she broke it, that it was really hard to like separate the picture that the egg was painting. I'm not sure. I don't know how this works, but the paint like to separate the whole picture that the egg was painting, right? And the lady was like, "Look, look, I'm trying to separate them, but I can't." And the lady was like so like in awe that she couldn't separate it. So she told her like they made you an amarre, which is basically when they try to make you fall in love with someone, right? So she was like, "Oh, okay." And then Then the lady told this girl like, hey, if I'm a I'm not gonna tell you who, but God is gonna show you in your head who are these people, right? And so this girl was like, okay, yeah, sure. So the lady was look this started giving her the characteristics of the people that this girl kept seeing on her head, right? And um then this lady says, oh, wait, okay. Then this lady says, um there's someone that worships the dead, which was the partner of the guy that had lied to her. That worships the dead. She basically offer you as an offering to her. That's how she was able to have another kid. And there's a lot of people wishing you bad things. There's a lot of people uh, that worked for you to be sick, for you to not be loved, for you to be from one man to another, for you not have to not have money last you, to like for you to be in a state of perish or poorness, poverty. And she was like, but all of this is gonna end, and I need you to repeat with me. And then so this girl was repeating with the lady, right? Like, oh yeah, like whatever that the lady was saying. And at the end, the lady was like, and all of this is gonna return to them. And so this girl was like, um, can it be any other way where it doesn't return to them? Where it can like just stay here or anything? And the lady says, this is why you're still alive, because you have a noble heart. This is why I didn't kill you. This is why you're still standing. God was protecting your heart. And then this girl was like, okay, you know? She was like, what is going on? And so this lady told her, sadly, everything that's done this way always has to go back because we reap what we sow. And so this girl was like really sad that that was gonna happen. So, but she had, the lady said too, like, doesn't matter if you want it to be sent back or not, it will go back because that's how this works. And so she just goes like, okay, like nothing I can do about it then. So that happened. She started getting better, of course, and then all of the people that she kept seeing on her head, uh, that was like that were the ones showing those things to her. Little by little, started getting sick. They started getting a lot of money, but it wasn't lasting for them. Um, they got really like multiple sicknesses. She says she doesn't know what happened to the girl that like worshipped the dead, but I mean, I'm sure something happened, like something bad. Um, but yeah, it was really sad. She says that she didn't want it to have nothing of that come back to them. And the only thing that she advises is to not run away from God, to not run away from God because there's nothing better to Him. Like He's always going to protect us regardless of what we do. We just got to believe it. And I think that is true. And I think she said that she forgave them right after that happened. And so that happened, and she just says, like, yeah, to not run away from God, to stay where God wants you to be at, but to not run away from God at all. That He will always be there. So I thought that was really pretty for her to say that because we forget that God is good. So yeah, that's the story of today. She also says that her life has been a couple years now. So her life has gotten so much better. She has her partner from years now, and she's money's good. Her partner treats her good. So everything in her life got better after that. And she's also getting closer to God now, so that's what she says. Do not run away from God. Her life will be better, even if it doesn't seem like it. And I can testify to that because when we don't have God, I think we just get too crazy. We just kind of like so desperate about everything. And when we have God, we like things can be happening, and yeah, they're gonna be stressful, but somehow you know that eventually everything's gonna be okay. That's what matters. Keeping the Harmony is the story number 2. This is from a very good friend of mine. I love him, and it's also anonymous, of course. But basically, this friend started. He found out like a couple secrets from his dad, but so that sadly interfered with the relationship. You know, like created some division, and it made them stay apart for a little bit for like the last years of his dad's life. Uh, Unfortunately, his dad passed away on an accident, and my friend says that he thinks he was able to say goodbye and that he loved him, but that his dad was still unconscious. Wasn't dead yet, but was unconscious before. And when he arrived to the scene, what he shared with me was that we need to try to keep the peace. Well, there is still time, you know, and while there is still safe and healthy for you, uh, yeah. Well, that we need to, of course, be more forgiving to the people that we love and show them that we love them because we never know when it's gonna be the last day, you know. One day we're here, the next we're not. And sadly, this is something that I have also learned all this time to be present and to not to not save any resentment to with anybody, to just love and forgive because we never know. One day we're here and the next we're not. And then we live in agony the rest of our days thinking that we could have shown more love, that we could have loved better. So he says that we just need to love better and to, of course, while it's still healthy for us, and even then, that we can still love in the distance, you know, and we can still forgive. And it is true. We can still forgive and we can still love during the distance. That we don't have to be present to be able to show people that we love them. Um, we can send gifts, we can send letters, anything. A simple text of like, hi, how are you? Can do it too. It was a very cute that he shared with me. Of course, after his dad died, his grandma also did. So it was very. Those first, those were the first people that he ever lost, and so it was very difficult for him to like deal with all of that and to come to the realization of yeah, love them however they come, love them with all of their mistakes, love them even if they hurt you sometimes, forgive them as many times as we can. We're not perfect. We all have secrets. Uh, and let's just try to keep peace with everybody while there is life. Because once there's no life, there's there's absolutely nothing that anybody can do. When they die, they go to heaven or they go to hell, and they're not gonna hear you. So might as well while we're here, be present, be loving, be affectionate, show people how much you love them, tell people what you like about them, tell people how they make you feel, you know, tell people the good things that you do and how you help them and all of that. So he reminded me that, and I think I needed it too because I haven't lost anybody recently, but throughout my life I have, and it's hard, you know, it's hard to understand at a young age that we're just instant and to say the things that we want to say what we can. So definitely, you know, be loving with your close circle, be loving with the people that you live with, be loving with your family, with your sons, with your sisters, with your parents. We're not perfect, but we are. We're all here for a reason, and the sooner that we realize why and what the reason is, by forgiving and loving, the sooner that we accomplish our goals here. So that's one. And then this one, that's the next one. It's also from an anonymous girl. And it's called Forgiving God. I can relate to that. But so this girl says that she had years where she was having a lot of chronic issues, and didn't matter how many tests that she took, everything came alright. Of course, like some things were wrong, but besides that, everything came alright. And she didn't know what happened. She didn't know what was going on. She was also running away from God during that season. She was mad at God during that season. She remembers that she was having like a lot of pain on her sciatic nerve, basically. Sciatic? Yeah, and the sciatic nerve, the one that goes from like the column to your feet. And that she was having a lot of problems on her hips, like on her lower back, where the glutes, like where the spine ends and where the glutes start. She was having like a lot of pain in there for it's been years, maybe like 3 years prior to that. And she was also like getting like these hot, this like, yeah, like this, like she was getting like not in heat, but like she was getting like this really hot mornings and hot nights, to the point that she was like, I must be on menopause. I must be on menopause. I don't understand all of this pain, all of this crazy like hot moments that I get, you know? So she was like, yeah, something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. I must be, it must be menopause, even though it's like clinically impossible. Because this girl says that she was on her 20s. And then she was like, no, no. And she says that like she didn't want to say it because she didn't want to declare it over her life. So she would think about it. But she was like, no, I refuse to say it out loud. So she was like, no, it can't be. I refuse to believe that that's it. So all this time she kept thinking that that's what it was. But she never said it because she was like, I declare I'm healthy. Anyways, that happens. And then she says that like 3 years later, once like her life was kind of like basically falling down, and she kept having these pains. She was like tired so fast. She was saying that like after work she would go lay down all day, and just like all of this medical issues that had no explanation basically, right? So she was saying that one day while she was working, she had like this like she like God gave her this vision, right, of like her dad's girlfriend. And it was like she was on an altar basically, in a little closet, and it was like behind clothes, so the altar couldn't be seen. And she was saying that there was like a voodoo doll that had like a piece of clothing from her, and that the needle was like on the back where her pain was for so long, and that she saw the lady, the girlfriend of the dad, was burning her picture every day and every night. That's what she kept having, the little man, I forgot the name for them, but hot flashes, the little hot flashes, right? So she was like, yeah, like she like that came to sense like, oh, that's why I'm having so many problems. So she was like, she said that like in the moment, she was like, when I see you, freaking lady, I'm gonna confront you, you know? and then and then she felt that God told her like, no, forgive her and pray for her. And then she was like, oh, okay. And she was already mad at God. So when she felt that God was saying that, she was like, okay, I'll do it just because you say so, but I don't want to, basically, with the attitude. So she prayed for her and she forgave her. And she says that like after that she started getting a little better. And And then she says that like a couple months went by. One night she was just chilling, watching reels, and that she out of nowhere saw like this reel with this guy where he was like, "Oh yeah, my uh his wife kept getting sick and they couldn't determine what it was. They kept doing tests, everything was good, everything was coming completely clean, just like this girl, right? So she was like, oh, so she left it and she kept going with the real. Then the guy is saying that like, yeah, until we did an MRI, and I could see that my wife had like the Baphomet figure on on her scans. And then the guy was like, I didn't know what to think about it, so I called one of our prophet, like one of the prophets that we know. So he told the prophet the situation, and then this prophet came like, okay, give me a day. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna fast. I'll come back to you. The day happened. Then the prophet called back, and she was like, yeah, um, I feel like I have to tell you that yes, that is a demon, and it's there because your wife never forgave God for taking your kid away from you. And then the guy was like, oh my God, that's so true. My wife resented God after it. But like, they didn't really like talk about it too much. It was just like, little conversations that like people have. So he was like, that makes so much sense. Yeah. And then the prophet was like, yeah, that's what opened the door for the demon to be on your wife's body, basically, making her sick this way. And so he was like, okay. And the prophet goes, like, I feel like God is telling me that you need to tell your wife that she needs to forgive God for taking your kid away. And then the girl started crying. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm mad at you too. And then she felt in that moment too that God was telling her, like, you need to forgive me. And then the girl was like, okay, okay, I forgive you, God, for like allowing all of these bad things to happen to me and blah 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 blah. And like I forgive you and I want to get back to you and all of this like really beautiful encounter, right? So she says that she forgave God, and after she forgave God, little by little she started having more healing. And she explains that it's been 2 years now since then, and that she's been completely healed. Like her chronic issues are not an issue anymore. And I was like, wow, that's so important. I had something similar too. And honestly, yeah, it's so important because we like to blame God for our own stupidity. We like to blame God for the things that we do wrong and the consequences of our actions, which in reality is just our doing. We have free will. And I've been there. I've blamed God for things going the wrong way. And it was not entirely my thing, like my doing, but of course, like I did things that also led to that. But yeah, like we like to blame God for the things that we create. And I think it's so important that we forgive Him because forgiving heals. Forgiving heals. It takes off stuff from you. Like it literally brings healing. I swear to you. But yeah, those are the episodes of today. I mean, those are the stories of today. Thank you for being here another time. I hope you comment, like, and subscribe. And if you were here to the end, what can you put in the comments? Blessings. Put blessings in the comment, Carmenians. Anyways, I want to close it with 1 Corinthians 13:7 because I think it's very important. We're talking about love and forgiving. So it starts with love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Thank you. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Bye. Blessings.